Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I wanted to come on because I have something very important that I want to talk about when it comes to being open to your partner, with your partner, when it comes to your struggles with food. One of the most common questions that I get is, who should I tell? How can I tell them? Should I let my partner know that I'm struggling with binge eating? Should I not? Like, what does that actually look like? And I actually have personal experience. Hi, Ellie. I have personal experience with telling my boyfriend at the time. Now, of course, he's my husband, but I had experience with telling my boyfriend at the time that I struggled with binge eating. Hi, Bree. And I have also working with clients who have the same question. Should I tell my husband? Should I tell my partner? Like, how much should I tell them? And the reality is if you are struggling with binge eating, emotional, or overeating, I do think it's really important for your partner to know, especially if you are living with them, because they see you, they're with you every single day. It's important for them to not understand what you're going through, because they're never going to understand what binge eating actually is, but it's important for them to understand that you are having a hard time, that you are struggling. And it's also very important for you, because holding binge eating on your own can feel like this secret thing, right? It's like you're doing things with food that you're maybe doing in secret, and it creates so much pressure for yourself, right? The last thing that you want is to feel like you can't even be yourself around, the partner or the people that you live with. Now, will your partner understand what binge eating is? No. I got to catch the replay, but this is definitely what I need to watch. Okay, amazing. I'll catch you on the replay. Will your partner fully understand what it is that you're going through, even if you explain to them in full detail what it's like? No. Because the reality is if somebody has never gone through binge eating themselves, they are never going to understand. When I told my boyfriend at the time, I didn't even say that I was binge eating because I knew he wouldn't understand. But I said something along the lines of, I am eating past fullness. I don't have control. I can't stop eating, and I'm feeling really guilty. And he still did not understand. He still didn't understand. And we can't expect our partners to understand if they've never gone through binge eating themselves. And a lot of the times, if you have been a chronic yo-yo dieter, which I'm sure many of you guys have, because that was me too, and that really is what led me into my struggles with binge eating. When you are chronically dieting and you're hopping from plan to plan to plan, and you're doing this diet plan, then you're trying this diet plan, and you're doing this diet plan, your partner sees all the different diets that you've tried. And maybe you have told your partner at one point or another, like, hold me accountable. Don't allow me to buy the chocolate chip cookies the next time we go grocery shopping. Don't let me eat after 7 p.m. I remember telling my boyfriend I was doing intermittent fasting, thinking that was going to stop my nighttime binges, and no, it did not. But at the time, I had no idea. I was just trying everything and anything. And I remember that I told my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, just hold me accountable. Like, don't allow me to eat after 7 p.m. Just hold me accountable. Like, just don't allow me. If you see me eating, like, just tell me to stop. And at the time of like putting that intention in place, it was always after a binge. It was always after messing up, right? And you want that accountability. So you're like, if I say something, then I know he's going to hold me accountable. But it's all fun and games when you set that boundary and that accountability when you're struggling. But when it's 8 o'clock at night and you really want a snack, you're like, I hope my freaking partner doesn't say anything because I actually don't want him to hold me accountable anymore. So this is what would happen. It would be like, 8 o'clock and, he'd be eating something, and then I would want something, obviously, because I didn't actually not want to eat after 7 p.m. or whatever the time was. Like, I wanted more control. but I wanted to, enjoy my snacks. I just wanted to be able to not do it in a bingey way. So it would be like, 8 o'clock and he'd be having his snacks. And then I'd be like, okay, I know I told you that I wanted you to hold me accountable, but like, just this like one time, I'm just going to allow myself to eat. So your partner is like so confused because they want to help you, they want to support you, but now you're giving them mixed signals of like, wait, I told you to hold me accountable, but wait, I'm just joking. I actually don't want you to hold me accountable. And then when you're recovering from binge eating, you're asking them what you're telling them to do for you is a whole different ballgame. So when you're on a diet, maybe when you've spent so many years dieting, your partner is used to, you telling yourself, you can't eat this, hold me accountable, make sure I do this perfectly. And then when you're on your recovery journey to heal from binge eating and emotional eating, compulsive overeating, maybe you're telling your partner, like, hey, so I'm on a recovery journey and now I'm actually allowing myself to eat these foods because I'm recognizing that I need to make peace with these foods. And then your partner is probably so confused because for so many years you've said, don't allow me to eat the gummy bears. Don't allow me to eat the chocolate. Don't allow me to buy these sweets in the house. And now that you're on your recovery journey, healing from binge eating, and you're trying to incorporate these foods more often and not eat in secret, because you know that eating in secret is unhealthy. So you're like trying to eat in front of your partner, but now you're like, oh my gosh, like I've spent so many of my years, telling my partner that I'm not going to eat the peanut butter, I'm not going to have the cookies. And now when I eat the cookies, I feel really guilty that I'm eating the cookies because like I told my partner that I don't want to be eating the cookies. So now I feel really bad and I'm judging myself, but now I feel like he's judging myself and he's definitely not judging me, but I believe that he's judging me, and it's like a whole other shebang. So it can feel really frustrating, because it's like you want your partner to support you, but sometimes they don't know how. Especially when it comes to binge eating. They don't know how to support you, actually. They don't know what to say. They want to say the right things. They don't know what to say. Still to this date, like I obviously my husband knows what I do for a living. He still doesn't understand, really, binge eating. Like, he has an idea, like, of course, like, but not really. So your partner loves you. They want to support you. They want to say the right things. They want to do the right things. But sometimes what they say or what they do can be really triggering, and you can't blame them because they're just trying to do their best. They love you. Remember, first and foremost, they are your biggest cheerleaders. They care about you. They want to support you, but they just don't know how. And this is why support from a coach is really important. And speaking to somebody who has gone through this that can actually help you get on the other side so that the conversations that you do have with your partner are no longer, maybe butting heads, but it's like, hey, we can actually enjoy a beautiful dinner together and we can have snacks on the couch together and there's no more weirdness with food. But it becomes really frustrating when you either don't tell your partner and they have no idea what's going on. So of course you're trying to hide food. You're eating in secret. You're hiding food wrappers. You're eating when they're in the shower. You're eating when they're not home. When they go to bed, you're like hiding food. So that's obviously not good. But then after you do tell them, and then you don't feel understood and you become triggered by what they say and what they do. So it is a process. But what I tell my clients is when you're going into a conversation with your partner, like have a clear idea of what you want from them. You're probably not looking for advice from somebody who's not gone through binge eating themselves. You're probably not looking for advice or tips. You're probably just looking for somebody to be there. Maybe you just want to vent. You just want to talk about maybe what you're learning or, especially if you're in a program. I'm thinking about one of my clients. It's like you just want them to be there and to love you and to see you and to support you and to cheer you on. So say that, right? Like, hey, I'm not looking for advice. I am just looking to share with you this one thing. And I just want you to see me. Maybe you can just give me a hug after this. Like, I just want to tell you, I'm not looking for advice. Like, I'm okay. Especially if you're in a program, you can say, hey, I've got a coach. Like, she's helping me. Like, we're good. I just feel the need to share this with you. Very important, because if you don't have clear intentions of, why you're having this conversation, most men are fixers and they're going to want to fix things. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And again, they might be so confused, because if you're saying like, hey, if you see me eating chocolate, like it's part of my recovery journey, they're thinking, well, for so many times that you've dieted, you didn't allow yourself. So now you're wanting me to not say anything when you're eating chocolate, but before when you were dieting, you told me to, give you shit if you're eating chocolate. Like, they can be so confused, and you might be confused because you're trying to navigate this all. So one step at a time, but I do definitely think it's important to be open, because like I said, they deserve to know, you deserve to know. When I struggled, there was this one time I'll never forget. Andrew and I were boyfriend and girlfriend. We lived at separate places. We weren't living together at the time. And it was a Friday night, and I got home and I was so excited to see him because, we weren't seeing each other that much. We were just starting to date. We didn't live together. I was so excited to see him on a Friday night. I was like, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to have an amazing time. And I got home from school and I had one of the worst binges of my life. I couldn't control myself. Like, I wanted to, because of course I didn't want to binge before going to see him, but I didn't have any control. So I got home and I was eating super fast, zero control. I knew that I was going to feel so bad afterwards. I knew that I would definitely not want to see him afterwards, because I'm going to feel like absolute garbage. So I remember, just eating so much, and he texts me and he's like, oh, I'm so excited to see you tonight. Like, I can't wait. And my heart literally broke, because I was like, what do I say? There's no way, no possible way that I'm going to see him. There's no possible way that he's seeing me like this. Like, there's just no way. No, it's not even happening. And if I have to go to his house, that means that I'm also going to have to see his family. And I feel like a whale right now. So there's no way. And that broke my heart, not because I binged. I knew that I binged. But the fact that I was spending my day, I was spending this time binging. Now I can't see the person that I love. Now I can't spend time, on a Friday night with my boyfriend and laugh and cuddle and watch a movie and do all the things that you do when you first start dating. I can't do that. And not only that, but now I got to sit at home by myself with the guilt and the shame and the embarrassment and the disgust by myself. And here he's thinking something is wrong. I remember him messaging. He's like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? And he probably, I think he said something like he thought, something was up between our relationship. And I was like, no, there's literally nothing wrong with our relationship. But I couldn't tell him that sorry, I just ate too much food. I can't come to see you. He's not going to understand. So I think I said something I'm not feeling well. And that's partially true. I was not feeling well, and you're consuming so many calories. Of course you don't feel well. And I just felt so bad. And I was like, something needs to change. And a huge reason of why I healed my relationship with food was because of this relationship. We had these big dreams and these big goals for ourselves, running our own businesses and, starting a family one day. And I was like, I can't go on like this. So the first step is I need to also be open with him. Of course I need to get support, but I also need to let him know that this has nothing to do with him. And I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. And then when we started getting closer, and sometimes when I wouldn't want to be intimate, then he knew. Because if you don't tell your partner and you don't want to be intimate, what do you think that they're thinking? So I made sure to let him know, it's not you. This is all me. These are the struggles that I'm having. This is why I don't want to be intimate. Or there's just sometimes why I don't want to go out for dinner. Or sometimes this is why, I feel really anxious going out to eat. Or this is why sometimes X, Y, and Z, I have to cancel plans. I don't want to see these people. Or I don't eat when we go to social events. they don't have to fully understand, but I do think that they need to know. And please get support so that you don't have to spend the rest of your relationship, tiptoeing around. He's probably on edge. Like, he doesn't know what to say. He wants to support you. He doesn't know what's going to be triggering. Like, heal your relationship with food first and foremost. Speak to somebody who's actually gone through this that can lead you the way. This is the most important thing. Because when I told Andrew at the time, nothing changed for me. Things only started to shift when I actually hired a coach and I joined a program. It helped me to, take a weight off of my shoulders, absolutely, when I told Andrew, but nothing changed because he couldn't help me. He didn't have the tools. I didn't even know the tools. So this is a very important conversation, very, very important conversation to have. And I actually have a podcast episode. I'll link it down below. I can't remember what the episode number is, but I have an episode where I share a 5-step process of how to tell a loved one that you struggle with binge eating. So you can definitely go ahead and listen to that. But this is very important to have a conversation with your partner, be open and understand, what might happen. One more thing before we wrap up here is just popped up in my mind. After I told Andrew that I struggled with binge eating, I almost felt like I was being even more judged, because I'm like, now he knows that I'm a binge eater, or he knows that I struggle with food. So I would be like scared to go in the kitchen home alone, because if he came home, he's going to think I'm binging. Or I didn't want to eat a cookie because I'm like, he's going to think I'm binging because he doesn't understand what it is. You know what I mean? And then it's like you're on high alert all the freaking time. So that is also something that you can expect too after telling somebody that you struggle with food. It's like you might at the very beginning feel like you're being judged a little bit more just because they know. Just because they know. When somebody knows that you struggle, it's like you're going to think in your head like they're watching every one of your moves. It's like they're judging you. They're looking at everything you're doing. And that's not the reality. A lot of the times your partner doesn't care what you're eating or how much you're eating. It's your own projections. It's you judging yourself that's actually creating this mental turmoil in your brain. Your partner doesn't care, but you believe that they care about what you're eating and how much you're eating, and that's going to create frustration, and that's what's going to create this annoyance in yourself. So hopefully this was super helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.